I'm Stanley Johnson. I've got a great family. I've got a 4-bedroom house and a great community. Like my car? It's new. I even belong to the local golf club. How do I do it? I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. I can barely pay my finance charges. Somebody help me. Come to Lenny.
Now, when it comes to the appearances of Stanley's situation, his life looks pretty good. Nice house, nice car, plenty of recreation. These are things that we all want out of life. But it's clear that despite the look of things, Stanley is stressed out and unhappy because, like many Americans today, Stanley is in financial trouble. Now, I have personally lived with this type of stress before, and like Stanley, my spending was out of control. Some of us might be thinking, sure, I need to be more responsible, and someday I will. As a fellow student, a businesswoman, and a mother of 4, I too have procrastinated. But research shows that we college students need to be financially responsible, and we shouldn't wait until we get our first real job to make wise money choices. Instead, the time is now. So I urge you to tune in for the next few minutes and hear what financial experts say college students can do to start their financial journey off right. First, we are going to take a look at the biggest money mistake college students make and how we can avoid it. Then we will learn what it means to live within your means. And finally, we'll get the lowdown on paying back those student loans. To begin, what is the biggest mistake that college students make as far as money goes? Well, in his recent article, The Top 5 Money Mistakes College Students Make, author, financial planner, and retirement specialist Jeremy Von Winkle says that credit card debt is ranked as the #1 most costly money mistake that college students make. He says although credit card debts can be useful for some people, most cards that college students get have high interest rates, unfavorable terms, and allow students to spend a lot more money than they actually make. So how can we avoid credit card debt? Adam Levin, financial expert and founder of Credit.com, says an individual should have no more than 2 credit cards if and only if they can pay the balance off each month. To quickly illustrate how damaging credit card debt can be, consider this scenario from the United States Federal Trade Commission's credit counseling website. A $1,000 charge on an average credit card will take almost 12 years to pay off and will cost more than $1,300 in interest. So that's $2,300 altogether if only the 2% minimum payments are made each month. Now, with the average undergraduate student carrying $2,500 in credit card debt, it's no wonder that we've gotten ourselves into trouble. Besides avoiding credit card debt, what else should college students do to secure a solid financial future? The most important thing is to live within your means. But what does this mean exactly? One word, a budget. Dave Ramsey, radio talk show host, self-made millionaire, and author of The Total Money Makeover, says that a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it all went. Plan your spending and then spend according to your plan. This is the only way to prevent overspending. Now, coming up with a good working budget is often harder than we think. Rebecca Tervo, a financial business consultant and certified public accountant, says that when making a budget, it is important to be realistic and to ensure everything you spend money on is included within it. She says people often forget to account for things like clothing, eating out, and gifts. Accountability is key, and for college students, she says, this means getting educated and getting support. Now, the University of Kansas offers a variety of programs to support students, including a great educational course called the Cash Course. This is a planning tool, and it is free to students. It is sponsored by the National Endowment for Financial Education, and according to this material, it says that a budget is vital, and it should be prepared each and every year to itemize expenses such as tuition, fees, books, room and board, transportation, and personal expenses. Now, avoiding credit card debt and using a budget to live within our means will definitely set us on the right track. But another major financial issue for college students is understanding the true cost of paying off those student loans. So what is the lowdown on student loans? Well, the first step in borrowing is to be responsible and know exactly how much money that you really need to borrow. This, again, is where a budget is vital. It's also important to explore other options like grants, scholarships, and work-study programs to avoid borrowing as much money. Secondly, you need to explore your lending options. According to the U.S. Department of Education, website, studentloans.gov, there are three basic types of student loans. There's federal loans, private loans, and charitable loans. Each of these sources has pros and cons, especially when it comes to interest rate and repayment options. Federal loans tend to have the lowest interest rate and the most flexible repayment plans. Now, according to economic specialist and Time magazine author Christopher Matthews, student loans can get people into real trouble, particularly after college when the repayment period begins. And so understanding how much your repayment plan will really cost you in the long run is key. Let's take a quick look at a typical federal loan situation. Just need to go down here. I hope this hurries up. While that is loading, I'll just explain that according to the U.S. Department of Education, the average post-4-year degree costs students about $27,000 in student loan debt. Here we go. And the average salary after graduating, according to this website as well, with a 4-year degree is $44,970. When we enter this basic information to the repayment calculator at studentloans.gov, the options look like this. Now, as you can see, with the federal loans, there are several different repayment options: the standard, the graduated, pay-as-you-earn, income-based, and income contingent. The important thing to keep in mind is that with the period for payoff, the monthly payments vary, but so does the interest that you'll pay. The standard payoff plan is the most economical. The payments under this plan for the income that the national average income is $272 a month. By the end of the 10-year period, you will have paid $5,638 in interest. Now, some people might be tempted to go for the repayment option that has the lowest monthly charge available to you. Unfortunately, when students choose to do this, or post-students choose to do this, they end up paying a lot more in interest. For example, if you look at the pay-as-you-earn, the payment period is extended to 149 months, and it starts off with slightly lower payments, about $100 a month less, and gradually goes up to the full payment amount. But with this repayment plan, you end up paying at least $2,000 more in interest over the long run. So, to reiterate what's important about student loans, borrow only what you need, and before agreeing to a loan consolidation or repayment plan, you must consider how much interest you're really going to pay and how long it's going to take to pay that off. Because remember that these loans will remain on your credit until paid in full, and it can affect future purchases like a car or a home. In closing, let's think back to our dear friend Stanley Johnson. By his appearance, Stanley has it all. He's living the American dream. But Stanley's cry, "Somebody help me," is one that has become far too common in America today. According to a 2013 survey by Bankrate.com, nearly half of all Americans are living just like Stanley, paycheck to paycheck, in debt, stressed out, on the brink of a disaster. Now let's make a commitment to ourselves and to our future family that now, while we're in college, we will do what it takes to get our finances in order. We're going to cease any further credit card debt, develop a healthy budget to live within our means, and we will handle our student loans the most efficient and cost-effective way that we can. In lieu of Stanley and our own American dream, let's end our discussion today with one last word of advice from financial expert Dave Ramsey, who says, "The Joneses are broke. They're in debt and don't have money for emergencies, retirement, or college. Do you really want to be like them? Doubtful. So compare yourself to them and determine what you need to do so you aren't like the Joneses. Being normal is being broke. When it comes to your finances, don't be normal, be weird."